So the single biggest piece of advice that I would give someone with regards to business or whatever, you've got to be authentic. And I know that's kind of a cliche word to a lot of people, and it might not make sense to a lot of people, but I feel like we spend a lot of time in life trying to please other people, trying to navigate down this path of least resistance, if you will, which means we don't want to offend anybody. We don't want to say anything that's going to be too poignant. We don't want to say something that might be offensive or whatever. And at the end of the day, I feel like we live these lives. I did this. This is where I was. I just felt like I was living this life for trying to please everyone and not cause any waves. Not that the idea and the intent was to cause waves, but that I wasn't able to share authentically. I wasn't able to share what I really, truly, genuinely felt. And I feel like if you look at the marketplace, if you look at entrepreneurs, like really successful entrepreneurs, if you look at like Elon Musk or a Steve Jobs, I mean, these are guys that were like, I mean, Steve Jobs, people thought he was like literally certifiably nuts. Like thought he was certifiably nuts. I mean, I read his biography and there weren't very many people that sat on the fence with him. It was like you either loved him or you fucking hated him. And there was no middle ground, but you always knew like he was going to come with everything. And you just from what I saw, I mean, seeing him speak and reading his book and stuff like that, like you just knew that when he was going to speak, when he was going to be there, he was going to bring it. You didn't know what the hell he was going to say, but he was going to be 100% authentic and 100% real with you. And I feel like if you look at history, if you look at the real changers, like the people that have helped start revolutions, the people that have helped, start multi-million-dollar empires, starting businesses, government leaders, I mean, rebellion leaders, they all shared what they felt authentically. And they didn't put any filters on it, and there was no care in the world for what would come back to them because of what they shared. And I think that's a really, really interesting thing. It's something that I'm kind of navigating through myself in building a business and building a brand. But I really feel like if you want to make a dent in the universe, if you truly want to be able to like leave your mark, if you truly want people to know who you are, you've got to be authentic. Because at the end of the day, like we've been programmed since we were little kids to, sit down, calm down, quiet down, simmer down. Don't speak too loudly. Don't say anything that's gonna offend anybody or piss anybody off. And so we've kind of become this muted culture and this sedated culture where we're afraid to share things that are like passionate to us. We're afraid and almost blocked from sharing things that are important to us. Our own true raw passion. And I think if you can get to that place in life, not only with yourself, but I mean, my relationships have just exploded with like connectivity, my connection with my kids, my connection with deity, my connection like in my businesses. My businesses have been, exploding and growing and doors are opening that I never otherwise would have thought would open. And I truly attribute, and I put all of that to authenticity, being able to share passionately with real intent and real conviction who you are, what you believe. And so if you're an entrepreneur, I mean, if you're trying to grow a business, if you're trying to put your stamp like on the world and put a dent in the universe, as I like to call it, you've got to learn and believe and live and just exude authenticity.